Great Mother has a soul and is alive, as are other planets. They all have souls and a spirit too. We are here on Earth, our Great Mother, to do the great work. So what is the great work? The great work is simply your own personal path towards illumination, or coming to know thyself. For us, if we have children, we leave some of our soul here on Earth, because our soul is in our DNA, which is why those doing the great work often don't want children, as it means a continuation until they have died. And if they have children, it continues. Once we have completed the great work and our soul is no longer on Earth, we don't return to the source. We become a planet and we create our own world. This goes even further. The great work is never complete. When we have been a planet and done the great work that we are supposed to do there, we then go on to be a solar system. And eventually we become a universe all of our own. Until we have stopped the rebirth cycle and done the great work, we are trapped in someone else's world. This is something you cannot begin to understand yourself unless you do the great work, as it is hard to put into words. You are not aware of going to the source, as in your body will rot in the ground and trees grow out of your rotting body. You don't know about it, and that isn't you. But if your DNA is still in someone else, still alive, you cannot move on. So you could say, we are our children. We are also our ancestors. If you die and don't have children, but haven't done the great work, then you are just returned fully to the source. But you are not aware of it. It is just an eternal sleep, so it is nothing to be afraid of. The Great Mother just uses your energy smashed into thousands of pieces to create new life. You cannot create a planet without doing the great work. And if someone does that, it means that they have removed all of their shadow self, or at least have full control over it. So planets are not negative, none of them are. But we can choose exactly how the planet is going to be. Some people want complete solitude, as they feel complete without others being around, so they can just be a fiery planet with no life on it. Others, like ours, want to see new life flourish, so they become a creator of new planets, eventually, if the people learn to listen to the soul of the planet through the great work. But it has many, many levels to it, and this is hard to explain. When you reach the point of gnosis and full connection to your higher self, there are things that you just know, but cannot put them into words. Words cannot explain these things, as you have to just experience them for yourself. Words are something we created. This is more than words. I have included some planetary magic sigils and rituals in my book, which was released this year. They are very powerful, something the eagles have been hiding from you for years. If you remember that these planets are not just objects, and are alive, and are very old wise souls, you can begin to see why this has been kept from you. I should mention, just because someone has had children, this does not mean they should not do the great work. Actually, they should even more so, because when someone of a line does the work, it makes it much easier for those who come after. People don't seem to realise the true connection we have with family, that no matter what we do in our life, it has an effect on our kin. This is why someone who comes from a family that, say, take drugs and drink all the time and are abusive, find it much harder to break free and do the great work than those who come from a loving family. This is why we have our wilderness when doing the great work, to try and remove any negative influences from family members who try to stop us, as those who are trapped want to keep others trapped through fear and programming. If you're brought up in a family of those who do the great work, but choose to have children and continue the line, and they got far, then you don't have much to do at all, as your parents have passed the knowledge on through your genetic memories. So love or hate your family, they do affect you, and you affect your own children too. If you choose to not do the great work, you are leaving a much harder job for your children. It is all about growing up the great work, because as children, we feel the need to be attached to our Great Mother, the Earth, and are scared to leave her. But as we become an adult, we feel ready to break free and are no longer in fear of becoming a planet of our own. We feel safe and secure without attachment. We have then completed the work. People who do the great work but have children still don't feel ready to break free. Or, of course, they might have had them first before starting. Either way, the great work is for anyone who chooses to become an adult and be responsible for themselves. When you take a structured course involving ritual magic, it is easier to make sense of everything and to know where you are using the Kabbalistic tree of life as a map. Another way is to isolate yourself and just meditate, until one day you might suddenly just get it. But that is a long shot, and in my view, a waste of your life when you could be living it and doing other things. The Gnostic Theololite route through our church does involve some meditation and taking time out to be alone with your thoughts, but it does not take over your life completely. If you are very serious about it though, you are likely to want to spend a lot of time on it. Eagerness, after all, is what it takes to be a true seeker of Gnosis. The course does not tell you what you should or shouldn't do on your own journey. It just helps you to learn about all the tools to help you on your way, and also teaches you about various other things that are spirituality related. Everyone's path is different. We know that, and so should you. You couldn't pick up a textbook, read the full instructions on how someone else became illuminated, and expect it to work for you. By learning how it worked out for others and taking bits and pieces from that, you can find your own way. Within a helpful community, such as our church, you also have all the support you need along the way.